Now, the other biggest story I would say from the weekend was Kyle Larson. We've been talking about this a lot over the weeks, running the double with the Indy 500 and the Coca-Cola 600. Respectable finish. Obviously had a speeding penalty, which took away his chances probably with a top 5. But this was fun to watch. He made it back to Charlotte in time, but not quite, because then the weather arrived and it was just a bad.
I saw on social media the other, his post of the reaction of everything that he said, and I just feel bad for Kyle because it doesn't sound like he had any fun, because I think he took the burden upon himself to go out and perform and do all the things, which he's going to naturally do that. And I know he had that burden, but it just seems like he was much more vocal about the pressure that was on himself and the things that he was feeling than he usually is. And, but I think for me, Kyle Larson is Kyle Larson, man. You just go do the things that you're doing, and you can't control the rain. You're going to make some mistakes here and there. Nobody around you is going to think any different. You're already doing things that are just out of this world spectacular. Jumping in an Indy car, never wrecked it, ran in the front of the pack, had an opportunity to show his talents, just doing what he did, showing up. And then, he was going to come back to Charlotte and have a chance to finish that race out. Obviously, it rained and he wasn't able to start the race. Justin Allgaier did a great job.
Yes, he did.
I think he was running 13th.
Yeah.
And, he figured out the car, and Cliff kept talking to him, and, they kept getting better and better and better. But, they had a fast car. It was an unfortunate circumstance for Kyle all around, though, just with everything that all the effort and time that they put into it. But
it is unfortunate.
I hope he does it again so he can actually do everything.
I'm sure that he will. I mean, talking with people at Hendrick Motorsports yesterday that actually did the double with him, they were like, pretty much worst case scenario. What could have gone wrong went wrong. And apparently the rain has followed him, because you updated us.
Now he's in Iowa and it's raining again.
For the test.
So
poor guy.
And it's just a lot like Christopher Bell, right? He goes through those 8 weeks where nothing seems to go right, crashes, pit stop, whatever, he's making mistakes, whatever those things are, nothing's going your way. And when you get in those slumps, you just feel like the world's against you, and, are you doing something wrong? And then all of a sudden, one day you wake up and things go your way and you win a race, and it seems like it all never happened.
But how much cross-pollination do you think there was in terms of the attention that Kyle Larson brought both to the Indy 500, bringing a lot of NASCAR fans went out to watch him, and then vice versa of how his performance over there helped NASCAR?
I think Kyle doing both the dirt fans, I think, are the big ones that show up to watch Kyle Larson do other things. Like that's his real fan base, and I think they got a lot. Like IndyCar got a lot of those fans that don't normally probably watch IndyCar, as well as obviously the NASCAR fans. So it was great, and I keep hearing murmurs that more guys want to do the double. I know Kyle Busch was actively talking about doing it. Ryan Blaney. I find it interesting, and I don't think, and Kevin, you tell me what you think about this. I don't think that this would go very well if an IndyCar driver tried to do the double from their side to our side versus our guys going from our side to theirs.
I would agree. And I think the Kyle Larson effect is very much in effect. I think when you look at the IndyCar souvenir sales, I read that he was the top seller. Yeah, I'm sure he was the top seller at the NASCAR race, or if not, right there at the top. But when you look at the TV ratings from All-Star Race, when you look at the TV ratings for the Indy 500, you see the effect that Kyle Larson has on people and viewership, and because of the things that he was doing. And I hope Kyle realizes the impact that he has on people. I know he's down on himself for making the mistake and, all the things that happen with the weather, but gosh, it's just, whether he missed the race in Charlotte or not, it's just such a feat to be able to do the things that he did at the level that he's doing them at. But to your question, I don't think an IndyCar guy comes over here and does what Kyle Larson does from an IndyCar to a stock car. I think that Scott McLaughlin should be
the first guy
in a stock car on a road course for Roger Penske. I don't know why they're holding him back. It doesn't make any sense to me, especially when they get towards the end of the year or take those breaks, because I want our guys, I want Kyle Larson going to IndyCar to race. I want Kyle Larson to show up at the 24 Hours of Daytona. I want Scott McLaughlin to come over here and race a stock car. I want those guys to go back and forth and all know each other, because that's really what made racing great, was when Mario Andretti and AJ Foyt and all the stock car guys would all interact with each other. They all showed up at the Indy 500. They show up at the Coke 600. They show up at the 24 Hours of Daytona. And that's what I want to see. I want to see the IndyCar guys. I want to see the NASCAR guys, the high level guys. I'm just saying the highest level of guys on each side race each other's cars on occasion, not all the time. And I want to see him at the 24 Hours of Daytona. I want to see him at Le Mans. I want to see all those things happen, because I think it makes racing better. And that's what I think this situation did.
Did you ever have any interest yourself in doing some of those other marquee events?
Not really. I was always such a stock car guy. And I think in today's world with the new car, it opens the door a lot for guys outside of the stock car world to come in and have a better chance to be competitive. Like with SVG, I think for him to come over and do what he did, he has to get used to a lot of things in the Xfinity car because of the way that the car yaws out and skews out, the way that it moves around. The Cup car doesn't do that anymore, so it feels more like a sports car than what it used to.
Hey, race fans, thanks for watching our video. For all NASCAR on Fox News, content, and the best clips from Fox Sports, be sure to follow and subscribe to our channel.